Biodiversity and agriculture are two threads woven tightly together in the tapestry of life on our planet. As we step into Chapter 4 of our Biodiversity course, brought to you by SMART-AGRI Hub, we embark on a journey to explore how the diversity of living organisms impacts the food we eat, the landscapes we cultivate, and the sustainability of farming practices worldwide. Understanding the relationship between biodiversity and agriculture isn't just about science. It's about the future of food security, ecosystem health, and the resilience of rural communities. Let's start by defining our two key terms. Biodiversity refers to the variety and variability of life, genes, species, and ecosystems across the Earth. Agriculture, at its core, is the cultivation of plants and animals for human use, providing us with food, fiber, fuel, and raw materials. At first glance, farming may seem like a human activity separate from nature, but in reality, agriculture is deeply dependent on healthy, functioning ecosystems. The crops we grow, the livestock we raise, and even the soil beneath our feet are all shaped by the intricate web of biodiversity. Imagine a typical farm. Beneath the rows of crops, billions of microscopic organisms, bacteria, fungi, and insects work to decompose organic matter, recycle nutrients, and build healthy soil structure. Above ground, pollinators like bees, butterflies, and birds move from flower to flower, ensuring the fruits and seeds we rely on can form. Even the weeds and wildflowers at the edge of a field play an important role, providing habitats for beneficial insects and supporting the broader landscape. This interconnectedness is the foundation of agricultural biodiversity. Agricultural biodiversity, often called agrobiodiversity, encompasses all the different plants, animals, and microorganisms that contribute to agricultural production. It includes the vast array of crop varieties and livestock breeds developed over millennia, as well as the wild relatives and uncultivated species that thrive alongside them. This diversity is not just a matter of aesthetics, it's the key to resilient, productive, and sustainable farming systems. One of the most compelling examples of agricultural biodiversity is the story of crop varieties. Take rice, for instance. Across Asia, farmers have cultivated thousands of different rice varieties, each adapted to specific local conditions: flood-prone valleys, drought-prone uplands, salty coastal plains. This genetic diversity allows farmers to respond to changing climates, pests, and diseases, maintaining stable harvests year after year. When agricultural systems rely on just a handful of crop varieties, they become vulnerable to shocks. A new pest or disease can wipe out entire fields if all the plants are genetically similar. But a diverse portfolio of crops acts as insurance, spreading risk and boosting food security. Livestock biodiversity is equally important. Throughout history, farmers have bred cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and poultry for a range of traits: hardiness, milk production, disease resistance, and more. Local breeds are often better suited to the unique environments where they're raised, requiring fewer inputs and thriving where imported breeds might struggle. Unfortunately, modern agriculture tends to favor a small number of high-yield breeds, putting traditional livestock diversity at risk. Preserving these breeds isn't just about heritage, it's about maintaining options for future generations. Beyond crops and livestock, agricultural biodiversity also includes the wild species that interact with farms. Pollinators, natural pest predators, and soil organisms all play crucial roles in maintaining farm productivity. For example, ladybugs and lacewings feed on aphids and other crop pests, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Meanwhile, earthworms and microbes improve soil fertility, helping plants grow strong and healthy. The more diverse these communities, the more resilient farms become. However, agricultural practices can both support and threaten biodiversity. Traditional polycultures, where farmers grow many crops together, tend to be rich in biodiversity. Rotating crops, intercropping, and maintaining hedgerows and woodlots create habitats for a wide range of organisms. In contrast, large-scale monocultures, fields planted with a single crop, often reduce biodiversity dramatically. Intensive pesticide and fertilizer use can harm non-target species, degrade soil health, and pollute water sources, undermining the very systems that support agriculture. So, how can we balance productivity with biodiversity conservation? Sustainable agriculture offers a path forward. Techniques such as integrated pest management, organic farming, agroforestry, and conservation tillage all work to enhance biodiversity on farms. Integrated pest management, for instance, encourages farmers to use natural enemies of pests, minimizing chemical use and preserving beneficial insects. Agroforestry incorporates trees and shrubs into farm landscapes, providing shade, shelter, and food for wildlife while improving soil and water quality. Cover cropping and crop rotation are other powerful tools. By planting cover crops during fallow periods, farmers protect soil from erosion, suppress weeds, and provide habitats for pollinators and soil organisms. Rotating crops breaks cycles of pests and diseases, improves nutrient management, and fosters soil biodiversity. These practices are not just good for nature, they're good for farmers, enhancing yields and reducing input costs over time. Let's not forget the role of seed saving and community seed banks. By preserving traditional crop varieties, farmers maintain genetic resources that may be crucial in the face of climate change. Community seed banks allow farmers to share and exchange seeds, keeping local varieties alive and fostering innovation. Conserving agricultural biodiversity isn't just the responsibility of farmers. Consumers, policymakers, and businesses all have a part to play. Choosing diverse, locally adapted foods supports farmers who prioritize biodiversity. Policies that encourage sustainable practices, reward conservation efforts, and protect wild habitats are essential for long-term success. Research and education, like this course, help spread knowledge and empower people to make informed choices. Climate change adds another layer of complexity. As temperatures rise and weather patterns shift, agricultural biodiversity becomes even more critical. Diverse crops and breeds are better able to adapt to new conditions, ensuring food production can continue in the face of uncertainty. Protecting wild relatives of crops, plants that grow outside of farms, can provide valuable genes for disease resistance, drought tolerance, and other traits. Finally, let's consider the broader impacts of agricultural biodiversity. Healthy, diverse farms can buffer against environmental shocks, support livelihoods, and contribute to vibrant rural communities. They provide habitats for wildlife, protect water resources, and help mitigate climate change by storing carbon in soils and vegetation. In short, biodiversity and agriculture are not opponents. They are partners in building a sustainable future. As we conclude this chapter, remember that every choice, from the seeds farmers plant, to the foods we buy, to the policies we support, shapes the future of biodiversity and agriculture. By recognizing and nurturing the connections between them, we can grow food, sustain nature, and build resilience for generations to come. Join us for the next chapter, where we'll dive deeper into strategies for conserving biodiversity on farms and across landscapes. Together, we can cultivate a world where agriculture and biodiversity thrive side by side.